Don't mind me just eating some leftover turkey. How was your Thanksgiving? That's great! I'm here in our new winter holiday district. Just as quick as Thanksgiving, the Hitchhikers are starting to transform this area into something really special. The holiday season is upon us, so naturally, I'm going to build a minigame where your goal is to escape a deadly Yeti. I've got my sights set on this hill right here. The game is based off a classic from 1991, released on Microsoft Windows version 3.1. Yeah, 3.1. Over 30 years ago. I'm old. Get over it. Ski Free is the game. It's a downhill skiing game where your goal is to rack up points by interacting with obstacles on the way down. And when you get to 2,000 meters down the mountain after crossing the finish line, you're chased down and eaten by a Yeti. Yes, the game intentionally kills you off with a Yeti, and this is not what childhood Gort understood. You see, I thought the Yeti was the entire point of the game. All that time, I thought I was avoiding the Yeti for the majority of the run, and that he eventually caught up to me at some point. So that's what this is going to be. It's essentially going to be a Yeti obstacle course. And who exactly is going to be our Yeti? This guy. Except we're going to go to minecraft.novaskin.me to fix him up a bit. You may recognize this website for player skins, but if you go up here to resource packs, you can actually edit just about anything in the game. And we're going to go to entities and Endermen, then the Endermen PNG. Now, the reason I like to do this on the website rather than in an image editor is it gives you a 3D environment to work with. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to erase everything that's here. I'll come back to his arms and legs in just a second, and I'm going to leave his eyes just so that we know which way he's facing. So the ski-free Yeti, if you're unfamiliar, looks like this. This is top-of-the-line graphics for 1991. If you notice on the right here, this is the part of the picture that all the arms and legs come from. And lucky for us, we can actually make that work. We'll go ahead and erase most of it. We'll leave some to be his fingers. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, next let's try this rectangle tool. We'll pull out a light gray. Yeah, there we go. I guess I could have started with this instead of erasing everything. With the corners removed, he's going to look a little bit more rounded. Let's grab the line tool, set that to black. Let's make him some outlines. Get his eyebrows in. And then we'll replace his eyes with those beady little red ones. And we need his big yellow teeth. We're going to go up here to settings and set him to is attacking so we can open his mouth up and get the rest done. Teeth go here and here. And we can't forget his tongue. And we need some black here. And I think he's done. So now I'm going to come up here to save and go to download. For whatever reason, you have to right-click it and go to save image as. And to make a resource pack out of it, I'm going to go to my Minecraft resource packs folder and take one that I already have. Let's extract that and rename it to Endermen Yeti. Now basically how this works is it overrides the original texture. So we need to make sure that the file path matches. So we need to go to Assets, Minecraft, Textures. We're going to change this Models folder name to Entity. And then inside there we're going to change this Armor folder to Enderman. And inside there we will delete all this junk. Paste in what we just made. Name that to Enderman, and then we're also going to need to go in here and I'm going to open up with GIMP, and that's the program that I use to make my thumbnails and most of my graphics. So what I'm going to do here is two things. I'm going to select this all, and I'm going to trim it down to just the head, and I'm going to bring the whole thing down to 8x8 pixels. Then I'm going to be exporting it as pack.png, and I'll undo all that, delete everything. And then we're going to export as Enderman _ eyes. Because there's also a second layer that goes over the Enderman for just their purple eyes. and I just don't want that to show up at all. So now we can see we've got these 3 files here. This shows black, but it's actually invisible. We're going to take this, cut it, and we're going to replace the pack.png file in the root of the resource pack. And let's open the pack meta file, change this description to turns Endermen into YETIS. And we'll go back to the resource pack folder, take this and zip it up. Let's put our resource pack on. Oh. It's perfect. So now we just need a Yeti farm. And for that, I think I've got most of what I need in my ender chest. Otherwise, I'm gonna need some ender pearls, and let's go with spruce. So there should be a warped forest somewhere around here-ish. If I hop into FreeCam, we'll be able to find it down here. Yeah, that's exactly where it is. Cool. I'm not actually going to use down here. I'm going to build it up here on the roof. Because of the 3D biomes, I'm going to have to watch on F3 to make sure that there's warped forest in all the right places we need up here. I'm just going to start by grabbing some wood here. I love using wood as my building blocks for like just kind of scrap projects. Because you can break a stack of logs down into 4 stacks of full blocks, and that's really handy for inventory management. Also, they're really versatile blocks. You can make all sorts of stuff with them. Slabs, stairs, buttons, fences, doors. You've played Minecraft before. I'm sure you know all this. Alright, so now we've got ourselves a 20 by 40 platform, and that should do. If we fly far enough away, Endermen should start spawning. Aha! Yes. Now we need to set up a lure, and to do that, I'm going to need this box of ender pearls. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. We put 1 block on one side, and then 3 blocks on the other. Now we'll put a rail in the middle of the 5. Then we could just start chucking pearls until we get an endermite. This could be a while. Endermites have a 1 in 20 chance to spawn. Aha! We've got a friend. This whole thing works because mobs cannot pathfind over a rail. And because we're 9 blocks up, he's not going to try any dumb stuff with jumping off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pillar up so he can't get us. And we're going to put down the powered rails. And once he's on top of the rails, he'll be able to track us. But we are safe up here. And we're going to throw that there. And power the rails with some levers. Get our minecart on there. Then we'll unpower the one on the short side so it stops right over the pillar. Then we can just drop him down to where we want him. Which in this case is 2 blocks up. Then let's power the bottom here. Get our powered rails in. Regular rails on the corners. I'm going to use honey blocks to keep the Endermen away. Because honey blocks are smaller than a full block, it'll make it so the minecart should be able to grab them a little bit easier. This will also make it so the Endermen can't push each other onto the tracks and stop the cart. At least not completely. Tripwire hooks here. There. String. Then let's make a little rail collector thing here. This tripwire is going to sense whether there's Endermen on the track or not, if a minecart sucks them up. Since the Endermen can kind of bump each other around, I want it so that it doesn't matter which direction they're going. This tripwire will be able to send them onto this track. And then from there, I'm going to need to power this guy. So now we are going to make what's called a conga line. Now I measured out for a portal to take them to the overworld, and it's going to be right about here. I'm going to go up just a couple blocks, something I want to try with it. So I'm going to start by placing a block every 3 blocks on top of this. I figure 30 should probably do. Next, we're going to throw in detector rails. And the rest are powered. So now we just need fence gates above each of the diagonal powered rails. And each one will be powered by the adjacent detector rail and inverted with a torch. And this first one here is special. So what's going to happen here is the Endermen will get collected over here, they'll come down the line, and then they will start staging themselves into the conga line. What happens is the detector rail will shut the gate behind it so that all the Endermen back here won't be able to make its way forward. And then when the first one gets called at the end, it's going to start a chain reaction calling up each one to move forward. Oh yeah, we should probably power these powered rails. Now the last one here is a little bit special. It does not need a detector rail. So here's a regular rail for that. And we could actually get rid of the gate closing mechanism. Probably the gate entirely, actually. So then we're going to tap off the second to last cell to get a signal off of the detector rail. And we're just going to run it all the way back to the farm, where there will be a minecart dispenser. Now, yep, there he goes down the line. And so he should be able to make it clear through. And he should stop at the very end. Alright. Now, of course, this gate stopped him. There's nothing happening here. But the magic happens here with this gate. You see, he stopped this one. So the next one that comes through should stop right here. Now let's load this up with a few minecarts and see what happens. Got one there. And now watch what happens when he passes up that second to last cell. It lights it up. Sent another cart. And another cart. And this guy's so then let's load this guy up with a whole ton of mine carts. Now when this first guy gets launched, this activator rail is going to kick him off into the portal. And then we're going to need to recover that minecart. So we're going to send it all the way back to the start. We've got our return line, and we need to set up a cart breaker. And for that, usually people use cactuses, but I hear that you can actually lose minecarts that way sometimes. So I'm going to try out this other method using honey blocks and fire. So the cart should make its way up the ramp here, get burnt through the honey block, and drop into this hopper and go back into storage. Let's let him go. You see the other guys move up. Dropped him out. Cart's coming back. It's not very fast. I might need to add some more powered rails. And bloop. Cool. And now we got to get them to the overworld. And for that, I've got an idea. So I'm extending the portal up just a little bit. And I've got this side set up already with the same tripwire hook collector thingy. Now, what I want to do is set up a dispenser up here so that we can fire items through. Now, let's see where this lands. Ah, good. Good. Now, we should just be able to tap off of this hopper with a comparator, boost the signal up with a repeater, and then just run it down the line to trigger the Enderman. Okay, please. Yes! Oh my god! Friends! Oh! It'd be really nice if he got in the cart, though. But that's okay. We have the technology. This guy's not happy about the situation. So now if we call up another Enderman, he should pop through and get attracted by the Endermite. Okay, he's very upset about things. But, okay, no, it worked. Yes! Ah. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm here for, actually. So the reason this works while we're on the other side is because this operates as a chunk loader. When the item comes through, it loads this area up, and it's enough time to get the first guy through. And that's about all the time that we got. The cart, it just kind of jams up. So in order to get this to work properly, we're going to have to set up a series of chunk loaders. I've got 4 of them here built now. These are mostly Ilmango's design. I just added some blinky lights and a better shut-off. His tutorial's in the description if you want to know more about these. I guess we're also going to need a starting platform. And for that, I've got something worked out that's very similar to the conga line. This will be one of 6 lanes, and when a cart from up top lands on this detector rail, a repeater will power out the back to change the direction of this rail right here, to let it over to the next lane. And then when we push a button here, it'll activate all the fence gates to open up to release the Enderman. And I've got the same honey block fire thingies here, where they'll be collected in this dispenser, which will fire a new cart up to the portal every time this detector rail sees an Enderman come in. Unless all of the cells are already full. Genius. I'm also going to tap off of that same signal to fire off a new item into the portal to call a new Enderman. Hopefully. We've got 1. And this guy. 2. 3. 4. 5. Moment of truth. 6. And it should not send a new cart. It did, though. Okay, so the issue is that we need to send a new cart every time, but not a new Enderman the last time. So I've switched up the redstone to accommodate that, and that also means that we've got to knock out the last cell here. So it only watches the first 5 cells. But I'm also setting up a line here from the start button to send the next batch of Endermen in. So this should actually call up a new set. Let's give that a try. Excellent. It's never going to get old. Well, I think all the important things are done here. So what now? We run for our lives. I told you this was going to be somewhat of an obstacle course, and for that, you're going to have to catch the Winter Holiday Event episode to see how it turned out, because I'm seriously running out of time. By the time I get this video out, the event will actually be taking place the very next day, where all the Hitchhikers will be getting together to share their games, and we'll see who will win Christmas. I hope you've enjoyed my Yeti farm, and if you did, please don't forget to hit the like button. I love you, love you, love you guys, and I will see you next time. This is Gort, being taken out.